discovered 2 bodies in the landing gear compartment. Without
Good morning and welcome to the video live stream for the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg, and here with me, I am so happy to have people join me in the studio, and especially when they're avid listeners of the WSJM Morning Show. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Can I say that?
You can.
Bernice Mason is a listener, and in fact, we've sent you to Lake Michigan College for at least 1 or 2 events, right?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
One of them was Magic Johnson.
It was.
Is that right?
Yes.
How was that speech?
That speech was great.
Come on, get up close and personal to that microphone. I'm going to ask you to make good friends with it. Right there. There you go. My engineer gets mad when we don't use the mic. Yeah,
I'm
Terry.
close.
Yeah, Terry. That's perfect. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And so you were recognized last year by the governor of the state of Michigan as a volunteer of the year.
That's right.
That's really cool.
I am so thankful, happy, and blessed.
How many hours would you guess that you volunteer, let's say, in a week?
To be honest with you, I'd never have to give a
You don't count
that. No, I really don't.
Okay.
I just do.
Okay.
And I would think in terms, well, sometimes, how many hours will I be doing this today? There has been times when I would do 2 or 3 projects in one day.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 hours here, 4, 5. Yes.
And just keep going.
Yes, but I never
go until the job
I
gets
really
done.
Haven't.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, we'd like to talk about who you are, your background, if that's all right. We'll ask you a few questions.
Yes.
Talk about what you do when you volunteer and what you might encourage others to do as well. Maybe we can get a little bit about your experience in Detroit. You've got some really cool stuff here.
Oh, well, thank you. First of all, good morning, everyone. I'm Bernice Mason, a Benton Harbor native, St. Joseph resident. And I've been living here all my life, my family, so I'm loving it. And I'd like to say that I've worked at Lake Michigan College for over 27 years. That's where it pretty much was started, did most of my work.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Benton Harbor, and I started, I should say, in the 1960s, doing things for the community along with my church.
Yeah.
So basically speaking, I have near 60 years of volunteer service. That's why I say over 50 years.
That's great.
So that's where it all started.
Okay.
And after graduation at the high school, I am a widow,
Sorry to
mother
hear
of
that.
4,
Okay.
have a grandson, and now I have a great-grandson.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
I hope that doesn't cut into your volunteer time.
no, not at all, because my grandson lives here,
Okay.
but my great-grandson lives out of town.
Okay.
Yes. So my community title is Community Service Volunteer and Honorary Ambassador. That is my
Oh.
community service title.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna unpack that and more in just a moment. I got to get to some news here.
Okay.
We'll say a quick hello to Sarah Spoonholtz as well, and after the news, we'll find out what's going on at the chamber.
Yeah.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
Good New Year so far.
So far.
2025. You ever get the 2024 in there yet?
So far, no.
Okay.
I did do a
Knock on wood.
2015 though. Yeah, because apparently I want to go back in time.
Yes.
Yeah, I found that the typing of the new year is a lot easier than the writing, because when I write stuff out, I would think 24, but now with typing, it's so much easier. It's just like, oh, not the 4, hit the 5.
That's right.
Yeah, it's these
Reminder.
silly things that keep me going. Yeah, I think about those things.
Keep thinking. Keep thinking. Ken.
Keep
You're on the
thinking.
right track.
That's what Mom always says. Keep thinking. Keep thinking, son. You'll get there. All right, it's 7:04. We've got the weather forecast coming up in just a moment. Also, we'll have the latest news from our WSJM newsroom, our interviews with Sarah Spoonholtz and Bernice Mason. It's all coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show video live stream. Thanks for joining us.
IRS $10,000 or more. With the IRS ramping up enforcement, taxpayers across the country are turning to tax relief helpers. Call 800-885-0622 now. End IRS stress today. Stop collection efforts, wage garnishments, and sleepless nights. Tax relief helpers can help you or your business settle your tax debt quickly and affordably. Call the Tax Relief Helpers hotline at 800-885-0622. That's 800-885-0622. Start your relief today.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It is the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's 7:05 on your Tuesday. It's January 7th, 2025. Temperature outside right now in Benton Harbor, 25 degrees. St. Joseph, it's 26. South Haven records 24 degrees right now. And the feels like temperature in South Haven, 18 degrees. So at least we're out of the single digits. That's positive territory. Forecast for today does call for mostly cloudy skies, as we talked about. Just a slight chance of snow. Don't think we're going to get too much if we do. At 28 degrees, northwest winds are going to continue 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy, a chance of snow, low around 23. And then tomorrow, again, mostly cloudy with a chance of lake effect snow. Light accumulations are expected tomorrow, high around 25, and northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom: one woman is in intensive care and 2 men are in custody after a shooting in LaGrange Township in Cass County over the weekend. Sheriff Clint Roach reports the shooting happened Sunday night just before 7:30 p.m. Deputies were dispatched to Ascension Borges Lee Hospital for a 42-year-old female who was suffering from a gunshot wound. The victim reported being shot at a property in the 57,000 block of O'Keefe Road in LaGrange Township. Sheriff's office says they received information on where the responsible parties could be located. Deputies responded, and they took a 21-year-old male and a 24-year-old male into custody without incident. Suspect names are being withheld pending court updates. The sheriff's office says there was only one victim in the case, and the incident was not a random act, so they say the public is safe. Area residents are invited to help with the design of a new splash pad area at Warren Dunes State Park. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources, Parks and Recreation is in the early stages of exploring building a splash pad at the park, and they're asking for public input. Park manager Drew Montgomery says they're seeking the public's thoughts to help create a space that will enhance the park experience for visitors of all ages. He says they're looking at any and all ideas within reason.
Mostly what you like to see. The concept drawing will have like overhangs of different styles of the pad itself, and then it comes with overhang umbrellas and tents and canopies and things like that. And then what you like to see on it, which of course cost-wise will play a big factor.
Montgomery says the driving benefit of having a splash pad at Warren Dunes, because you think about it, you've got the water, you've got the dunes. What do you need a splash pad for? Well, he says safety, because when the wind picks up and the waves are too rough for the toddlers, the idea is to still give younger beachgoers something safe to visit and play on. The plan is to gather public input by early February, refine the design, engineer a plan, run it through the approvals at DNR, and then break ground, they say, maybe as early as fall of 2025. There's money in the DNR budget already. How much will be used depends on the final design, they say. So they're not going to tell us how much they're going to spend. The public meeting is set for Wednesday, January 15th, 4 p.m. at the Waco Beach House, 5301 Lake Street in Bridgman. You can also take the survey online. They want to hear from you. We have a link at our website, WSJM.com. The Region 4 Area Agency on Aging in St. Joseph has received a $1 million grant from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to enhance support. You know about this? This is good money.
Yes.
That's
yes,
$1 million
indeed.
bucks. Yeah. What they're doing with that money is to enhance support for low-income seniors and individuals with disabilities in Southwest Michigan. That's what the money's for. CEO Christine Van Landingham, did I get that right? Is that right?
You got it right.
Okay, thank you. Tells us the grant, it's a long name.
I know.
Tells us the grant will help meet housing needs in underserved areas by offering home improvement services.
The vast majority of older adults want to live in their own homes as they age rather than moving to a congregate care facility such as a nursing home or assisted living. But many times they face barriers to that. Their mobility issues change. With this resource, we're going to be able to help many older adults be able to live in communities.
Van Landingham says that the program is designed to enhance the quality of life for residents by allowing them to remain in their own homes and fostering independent living. To be eligible, homeowners and renters must reside in Berrien, Cass, or Van Buren counties and be at least 62 years of age. Those interested can call or visit the agency's website to apply. That's a look at some of the news that we're following in the WSJM newsroom. We have more to talk about this hour. We've got a special guest in studio, Bernice Mason. She was recognized as Volunteer of the Year across the state. The governor invited you to Detroit, Michigan to receive a special honor and award. You've got a proclamation there signed by our area state representative and senator. This is big news. I want to find out what drives you. Also, we've got Sarah Spoonholtz in the studio from the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. We'll get a quick update from her right after sports. It's the WSJM Morning Show. If you're tuned in to the video live stream, we'll start talking about that in just a moment right here.
In the NBA from Monday night, the Pistons, Bulls, and Pacers all in action, and the Pistons, Bulls, they rallied from 22 points down to beat Portland 118-115. Detroit has.
Okay, good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. We've got sports that's running right now. Then we'll come back in just a moment and get a quick update from Sarah. And then we'll start our interview with Bernice. Bernice, thank you for joining us this morning. I ask a lot of people this. Are you a morning person?
Yes, I am.
Yeah? What time do you get up?
About this time.
Yeah?
Between 6:30, 7.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Clock radio?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm asking too many questions. I'm trying to listen to what are the listening patterns of our audience members?
But I want to say this.
Yes.
Clock radio, it may be on, but I pretty much wake up myself.
Oh, okay.
It's been this way for years.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have an alarm set still, but yet you wake up before it.
No alarms.
Oh, no alarms.
No alarms.
See, you're good like that. That's good. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
We're going to start our what? No? You don't understand the world of no alarms? It's a fun place to be. Try it sometime.
But
yeah.
Bernice is a far better woman than I.
We'll be right back with more in just a moment.
Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
Thanks for being part of the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. We have agreement in the studio that it's a talent, it's a skill, it's something special when you can wake up without an alarm. And Bernice and I share this. Sarah, how are you doing with no alarms for a wake up in the morning?
Nah, no bueno.
No bueno? All right.
No. I mean, unless it's like I do naturally wake up usually 2:33 a.m.
Oh, you're one of those.
I'm one of those.
Okay.
Yeah. Like just naturally wake up, roll over, look at the clock, roll back over, and then try and go back to sleep.
Yeah. Do you wonder to yourself, how long is it going to take me to get back to sleep this time?
100%. Yes.
I think we all go through those phases. Yeah. It's a weird thing. I saw an article recently, and I think it was just clickbait, so I didn't go further into it because it was just going to put ads on the screen. But there's a thing. I mean, people do naturally wake up at 3 a.m. for some weird reason. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why.
Yeah,
it seems to go in phases. But anyway,
no.
I wake up at 3 a.m. every day because that's what time I wake up.
Yeah. Trust me. I think about that too. For the breakfast, though, I do wake up like something insanely dumb, like 3 a.m. And I have to get up out of bed and get ready because I have to be at the
Lake
college.
Michigan,
yes. By 5:30 that morning. So,
and that's one of the things that we wanted to talk to you about this morning is the big breakfast, the annual breakfast, the celebration breakfast coming up in February for the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. Let's talk about that. Sarah Spoonholtz, Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. You're here to give us a chamber update today. Yes. What is on your mind?
We've got a lot of things already kicking off in January. So even though we're 7 days in, which hopefully it's been a good 7 days so far to start off the year with you. But Ken, as you mentioned, it also is our deadline for nominations for the breakfast. So we are looking for nominations for our categories. They include economic impact, small business of the year, nonprofit excellence, best new business, the Rising Star Award, which recognizes a young professional, so someone under the age of 40, and then the Pat Moody Award, which is for someone who has been in the community. Bernice, a perfect example of someone who should be nominated for this, who's been in the community for over 10 years and is just a resilient staying power with amazing customer service. But we also have a brand new award this year, community placemaking, which you're talking about the splash pad potentially coming into Warren Dunes. They get approximately 1 million visitors per year, which is insane if you think about one little area of Southwest Michigan getting that many visitors. But if you look around the Tri-County area, so many other communities are doing great things and creating placemaking areas. Bridgman, you've got the Courtyard. In Waterville, you've got their Oasis. In Coloma, they just finished the splash pad, the Norma Summer splash pad. Cassopolis, like what is Cassopolis not doing really amazing right now to begin with? I mean, there's so many great things. Berrien County with Silver Beach County Park. So we wanted to make sure that we were recognizing that as well. And some of the things that the communities, specifically the communities themselves, not necessarily other organizations, but the actual municipalities have been doing. So we did do that one for this year. And we've got some exciting nominees already submitted for it.
Okay.
But we could use a few more in all of the categories.
All right.
So if you do know someone, by all means, please send the nomination in. You can head to our website, smrchamber.com, and you will see information on the breakfast there. It'll take you directly to the nominations page, and then you can submit your nominations. Those are due by midnight tonight.
Tonight. And as far as the process of submitting a nomination, how much information do I have to provide, say, for placemaking?
It totally depends on each category.
Okay.
We do ask for some information just so that we can use it to help write the little blurb that goes into the booklet that we send out to our attendees.
Okay.
So they're educated on why this individual, organization, or business is nominated. But if you don't have a ton of information, just supply us with what you have and we can do the follow-up touch bases with them when we let them know that they have been nominated.
That makes a lot of sense. And that description is very important because it's not Sarah Spoonholtz. It's not Arthur Havlicek making the decision on who wins the awards.
No.
It's the people who are at the breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. So we switched that 3 years ago because people were coming up to us and they're like, yeah, we really like your breakfast. But as a nominee, we know we're not going to win when we walk in. Like, we feel like they felt like it was very, we were picking our personal favorites for some of the awards.
Yeah.
Which,
naughty.
you never want to show favoritism, right? So Arthur one year was like, let's do live voting. And I think Jasmine and I looked at him like he had a third head. Like, what are you talking about? But it's actually been fantastic. And so many people enjoy it because they have a direct say now in who actually is the winner. And I mean, a lot of times I feel like I can kind of guess, like, okay, like, I think I know who might win this. And then there have been times where it's like my Emmy moment, right? Like, I get to be up there and open the envelope and announce who won. And there are times where I'm like, okay, all right. Yep. I totally called that. And then there are times where I'm like, nope. Thought for sure is going to go in this direction.
Didn't see that one coming.
But truthfully, all of our nominees are so incredibly well deserving, and we're just so thankful that people take a moment to help recognize them, because a lot of times, like, we don't know what we don't know about businesses in the community and people in the community who are doing amazing things. So without them being nominated, without their information being shared with us, then we don't always have the chance to say thank you and congratulations and keep doing what you're doing.
So nominations are due by midnight tonight. They go to your website?
Go to the website, smrchamber.com. And that's where you can also see all the events that we have coming up. January, we've got a young professional event with 4 amazing powerhouse women who are going to be coming in and helping young professionals grow. And then we also have business after hours at Sturgis Bank down in Niles that's happening. So you can see all those additional details, but then you can also head to the business recognition breakfast page and submit your nominations.
All right. And tickets for the breakfast?
They are available. Early bird pricing is right now through January 31st.
Okay.
And then starting February 1st, it goes up to the increased pricing. So get your tickets now, get them in advance, and come and join us for what is going to be another fantastic breakfast on February 21st. Details about our keynote speaker should be released by the end of the week.
Oh, excellent. Okay, we'll look forward to that. Sarah Spoonholtz, Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber of Commerce. Anything else we need to know?
No, just that.
It's all breakfast all the time right now.
So yeah, it is. It's a lot of things right now. The breakfast, and congratulations, Bernice. We're really proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate you coming into the studio this morning, and we will see you at the breakfast as well.
Sounds great.
All right. It's 7:19, and we have, as Sarah mentioned, Bernice Mason in the studio. And so thank you for joining us again. We appreciate you coming by the studios here in Benton Harbor. And in November, Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the Michigan Community Service Commission honored you at the 2024 Governor's Service Awards for your commitment to volunteerism. So as Sarah mentioned, congratulations for that. Thank you. No, and thank you for doing that. For those who don't know, we're going to talk a little bit about your volunteerism in a moment. But first, let's just understand who Bernice Mason is. Tell us, you started a few minutes ago on the video live stream. Let's reset. Let's do that again. Who are you? Where are you from? Where you been? What are you doing? Where do I start?
I'll start again.
Okay.
Good morning again. I am Bernice Mason. I am a resident of St. Joseph. a native of Benton Harbor. I graduated from Benton Harbor High School. Yes. Parents,
Yeah.
siblings, that is my home. So what I do now is I continue to volunteer throughout our community and so forth. Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, those two cities are my home. I represent Southwest Michigan and other communities beyond.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is, besides working at Lake Michigan College all those years, I did volunteer services after working hours and so forth in the community. I earned 2 titles as former Miss Lake Michigan College and the voice of Lake Michigan College.
Wow.
And after that, I ended up working at 2 churches, First Church of God, nursery director and coordinator, and also a teacher for the programs there. I also worked at St. Paul's Episcopal Church as the nursery director and teacher there. I know it's a lot, but I
Yeah.
was able to maintain all of that.
What did you do
Yes.
while you were at Lake Michigan College?
I managed the main office for the college.
Okay.
Yes, but I pretty much worked in other areas of that institution on first, second, and third floor.
I'm sensing a thread through all your occupational work that you were pretty much a director and somebody who knew how to get stuff done.
Yes, and I've often been called the executive vice president of First Impressions. I'll take that.
Okay.
I
We
feel-
have a director of First Impressions out front.
I know.
So you're her boss.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll be that.
I will tell Kathy that. No, that's great. That's great. And so, one of the things that you were recognized for is your ongoing commitment to volunteerism. When's the first time that you remember volunteering?
Well, I do remember volunteering, first of all, at my church. That's where it all began.
Okay.
That's why I did say earlier, let's take it back. It's near
Yeah.
60 years.
Okay.
Yes, doing church activities in the church and in the community. So that's where it started. My siblings and I and relatives. My family background is from the Woods family.
Okay.
So that is who I am.
Okay.
So yes, that's pretty much where it all started. And then once I graduated from Benton Harbor High School, I worked for the Benton Harbor Area PALS as a program working with the students in the community, teaching them, mentoring them on writing, reading, and math. And that's where it all started in the 1970s for that. Yes.
Yeah.
And from that, I just continued to do all kinds of things, the Benton Harbor Literacy Program, teaching people how to read.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of things that I've been doing.
That is amazing.
Yes.
And so for that, the governor gave you this award. She said at this year's ceremony, she celebrated 38 people, businesses, and nonprofits for the example they set for all of us to follow. That's another reason why I asked you to come in, is just to understand a little bit more about that, how you set the example. So I'd like to ask you some questions around that in just a moment. We've got to get some more messages in. We'll be right back and continue this interview with Bernice Mason, Volunteer of the Year, recognized for that in Michigan in November of last year. So we'll continue that right here on WSJM in just a moment.
What would you call a free account that helps you save automatically? Amazing? Incredible? Too good to be true? We call it Thrive Savings. Every month you meet your limit.
Back on the video live stream. Oh boy. Hugs and everything. Good stuff. All right. Sarah, enjoy the rest of your morning. What are you doing today?
We have a staff meeting, and then I've got to put together a couple of things for the breakfast.
Oh, okay.
And a couple of things for Discover and some childcare stuff, and you name it, Ken.
Okay. All right. We'll let you go. But thank you. And next time we speak, we'll be even closer to the breakfast. So maybe we can get a behind the scenes peek of everything that is going together.
Sarah.
When do we get a preview of all the nominees? Do we get a preview of that? Okay. We'll get a preview of that. Couple of weeks. Bring it up in the staff meeting today. Tell Arthur I said hi. All right.
Yes, tell Arthur we said hello, and Jasmine too.
And Jasmine. Yeah, tell Jasmine
Thank
we
you.
said hello.
Bye.
All right. Sarah Spoonholtz from the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. We really appreciate it. How do you know her?
How do I know her? In the community.
Yeah.
Yes, working in the community. I know Chris, pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
We got to take this all the way back, because I would say back in the day, I am a former ambassador with Cornerstone.
Okay.
At that time, Cornerstone Chamber of Commerce. That's what it was
Oh.
named then.
Okay.
I am also a recognized Ambassador of the Year recipient as well.
Wow.
Yes.
You know where everything is. That's awesome.
Pretty much.
I want to know the history of some stuff. We'll have coffee at some point.
Sounds good to me.
But we love storytelling. So if you think back through your volunteerism and some of those things, any stories, especially funny ones, any stories that you want to tell, feel free.
Okay.
Absolutely. But again, I'm amazed that you have a great grandchild.
Yes,
What,
I do.
Boy, girl,
It's a boy.
name,
Yes.
first name.
Chameleon.
Say it again.
Chameleon with a C.
Chameleon.
Yes.
Okay. Very nice.
Yes.
You get to see him very often?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Yes, I like to see him more. But
Often
again,
enough?
He lives in Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Man, Indiana, that's such a trek.
Yes.
No. Very good. Where are you volunteering right now?
Well, it's many places, but I'll just give you a rundown of
Okay.
some of the things. I do work at the Blossom Land for the Blossom Time Grand Festival Parade.
Excellent.
So I've been volunteering with that organization for over 30 some years.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
Salvation Army. I volunteered with the Salvation Army also over 30 some years. That includes their locations they've had in the past.
Okay.
So I have done with the soup kitchen in various locations. I remember back in the day, I was a teacher assistant, leave my job at LMC. Once I was finished, go work teacher assistant.
Yeah.
And I do other events like for Thanksgiving, food baskets and so forth, the Christmas food baskets, giveaways, toys.
Wow. Okay.
And I've worked with Channel 16 News for over 30 some years for each thing that I've done. First of all, 16 back-to-back school supplies. I've worked with Channel 16 News.
Yeah.
And the Toys for Tots.
Okay.
So
How was the Toys for Tots this year? Were you involved in this
Yes,
year's?
I
Okay.
certainly
How
was.
did it go?
it, as usual, goes great. The weather was
Okay.
nice, so it was great.
Oh, good.
Lots of toys, attendees, money donations. Yes, it was great.
I notice on your lapel you have 2 kings for 2 cities together.
Yes.
My eyes aren't as good. I can't see the one above it.
The first one that I have above it is I was inaugurated last month at the St. Joseph Lions Club.
Okay.
So this is the first one, the lapel pin.
Okay.
The second, this is from our former president, Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm.
So I do love this as well.
Okay. What does it say?
Well, it's I am who I am because of my community.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
Right on the microphone there, if you don't.
Yes,
There
I
you go.
am who I am because of my community.
Very nice.
That is from President Barack Obama
Okay.
Foundation.
Okay.
And the third one is from the Unified Civic Monument Project. We
Yeah.
just had that event this past year.
Yeah.
Yes.
It-
So I am one of the committee members and one of the donors.
That, we'll talk about that in just a moment. We've got to get back on the air here because our Bloomberg report is about to wrap up, and then
Okay.
we've got a couple of news items, but we'll come back in just a moment and talk some more with Bernice Mason, recognized as Volunteer of the Year from Michigan, and we'll have more on that in just a moment right here on WSJM.
To stay at the forefront of AI computing. He took the stage at a packed arena in Las Vegas to kick off the CES trade show, offering a vision for how AI will spread throughout the economy. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's 7:28. In just a couple of moments, we'll have the latest from ABC News, get the latest world and national news, preview what's coming up in the WSJM newscast at 8 o'clock, get the latest state news from Michigan News Network, and then we'll turn it over to Dave Wolf for sports, find out what's happening in Lion Land. You a Lions fan, Detroit Lions fan, Bernice?
Yes, I am. I watched the game the other night.
How about that? I mean,
Yes.
they really creamed Minnesota.
They sure did.
That was nice.
Very nice.
That was a nice get back. Yeah, how about, and Dave Wolf was also talking in sports about the Detroit Pistons, how they actually have won more than a game this year so far, this season. They're doing all right.
They're doing good.
I mean, so we've got the Lions, the Tigers, the Pistons, all right.
All right in my book as well.
Okay. We'll continue our conversation with Bernice in just a couple of moments. The forecast for today does call for mostly cloudy skies, a 20% chance of snow. Temperature outside right now is 26 degrees in Benton Harbor, 27 in St. Joseph, 25 in South Haven. The feels like temperature in Benton Harbor, it is what it is. It's 26 degrees. In St. Joseph, though, the feels like is a little bit chillier. It's about 21 degrees. Just dress accordingly. You'll be fine. Tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy skies, a slim chance of lake effect snow, a low around 23 degrees. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow's forecast, as we head into Wednesday, it's going to be mostly cloudy again with a 50% chance of lake effect snow showers. Light accumulations are expected tomorrow, so take that into account. High around 25 degrees, northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, we're looking at partly sunny skies, a high around 23 and a low of 13. That's because of the clear skies. Friday, mostly cloudy skies, a chance of snow showers, a high around 24 and a low around 15. So the cold temperatures are going to hang around probably up until Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have highs in the 30-degree range, and lows are going to be in the lower to mid-20s. So stay tuned for more. We've got ABC News in just a moment. Checking on our video live stream. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're interviewing Bernice Mason. She was named Volunteer of the Year, one of those across Michigan who was honored by the governor. Because we have a couple of moments here, you brought some things into the studio. Here, I'm going to widen the camera a little bit. Would you hold up one of those?
I sure will.
There you go. All right, right there is good. And so what she's holding up right now is, here, just point it right at the white camera there. There you go. So what that is for over 50 years of volunteer service, Bernice Mason, and that's signed by State Representative Joey Andrews and State Senator Eric Nesbitt. Could you read the first, on microphone, could you read the first couple of paragraphs? On microphone over there, though. Sorry. If it doesn't happen on the microphone, it doesn't happen. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. The proclamation.
It says, let it be known that this is a great honor to recognize Bernice Mason for over 50 years of service to the Benton Harbor and St. Joseph communities. Bernice has remained a faithful contributor to her community's atmosphere and fostered many connections between the individuals she has encountered during her volunteer work.
That's amazing. I love that. Now, here, let me hold that one. And then, would you also show people on the video live stream? Be careful with that thing. Oh my goodness. She's one-handing this big crystal mitten of the state of Michigan. It says 2024 Bernice Mason Volunteer of the Year Award. And that must have been quite an experience.
Yes, it was.
You can put that down now.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Thank you for showing people on the video live stream.
You're welcome.
It says here, Mason's dedicated years of service haven't been solely toward her communities. She's also dedicated her time for children of South Bend through her work with NDU 16 News. She's provided support with their Christmas Toys for Tots giveaway, their backpack projects. This proves that her dedication to community service and fostering connections goes beyond the communities that she calls homes. And because of her dedicated community service to the St. Joseph, Benton Harbor, and South Bend communities, Mason has been adequately recognized for her service. Adequately recognized. Is that a nice thing to say? Well, okay. That's
okay.
Fine.
We'll go along with that.
We'll go along with it.
Yes.
All right. Bernice's continued service saw her recognized as the community service leader / honorary ambassador within her communities and has earned the State of Michigan's Volunteer of the Year Award. Therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to commemorate Bernice Mason for her over 50 years of service to St. Joseph, Benton Harbor, and the South Bend communities. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Did you ever think you would be recognized for that?
No, not really. But I must say that over the years, several people have asked to nominate me.
Yeah.
So I would say, okay, I'll get to that.
Did you have an opportunity to talk to the governor when you were at the ceremony?
Oh, yes, indeed.
What?
I also told her that I met her here in Benton Harbor
Okay.
when she came to march in our parade,
Okay.
the Grand Floor Festival Parade. And so, yes, I had the opportunity to work with her as far as her writing in one of our cards to march in a parade.
Yeah.
She had breakfast at the Mason Jar Restaurant, no relation, of course. And I was one of the hosts, volunteer manager, and host.
Okay.
So I met her. She was accompanied by then Sheriff Paul Bailey.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you give us a little insight on what you and the governor talked about at the Volunteer Service Awards? If it's okay.
Yes.
All right.
Well, first of all, I thanked her and
Yeah.
the lieutenant, Gilchrist.
Yes.
And so I was just telling her briefly how we met here in
Okay.
Benton Harbor.
Okay.
So, and of course, I thanked her and she thanked me, and it was
Very
a
nice.
blessing and an honor, which I wanted her to know that.
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
Very good. All right. We'll continue our conversation with Bernice Mason. I'm going to ask you a little bit about your philosophy around volunteering and what it means for people to be part of their community and what that looks like and what people maybe can do more of, if that's all right.
Yes, that's fine.
So we'll talk about those things and more right here on the WSJM Morning Show in just a moment. It's 7:35.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Police are trying to figure out how and why two people made their way into the landing gear section of a JetBlue plane and died there. Their bodies were found last night at the airport in Fort Lauderdale during a routine maintenance check on the plane. The flight had originated at New York's JFK airport. We're learning more about the planning that went into the deadly New Year's terror attack in New Orleans. ABC's Trevor Ault is on Bourbon Street.
Surveillance video shows the suspect placing a pair of coolers at the scene ahead of the attack, where he appears to be on his cell phone before looking up to wave. Inside those coolers, law enforcement say they found steel pipes surrounded by 24 rolls of nails and a radio-controlled receiver. Authorities also discovering jars of flammable liquid inside the white Ford F-150 he used to barrel into those Bourbon Street crowds.
The massive snowstorm that stretched from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic left 9 people dead and hundreds of thousands without power. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It's 7:36. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I was just asking Bernice Mason, our guest, who's in studio right now, if she has any funny stories to share about volunteering. You said no.
I really don't. Not funny.
Because you're there to get it done.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. We'll keep trying. We'll keep trying. We'll talk. We'll talk more about volunteering in just a moment. Some of the news that we're covering in the WSJM newsroom this morning. This one was concerning. We'll talk about this at 8:00. But if you thought the water in Benton Harbor tasted a lot like drinking out of a swimming pool for a few weeks last fall, yeah, they accidentally put too much chlorine chemical in the mix.
I just can't imagine that.
I know. Well, they were trying to do the right thing,
Of course they were.
And unfortunately, they breached the Michigan Safe Drinking Water Act, and so there had to be a public notification about this.
As it should be.
As there should be, absolutely. And so we'll talk about that coming up at 8:00. But basically, they put too much chlorine in because the chlorine stock they had was so large that they couldn't use it all at once. So they kept it in storage. And as time went on, the effectiveness of the chemical was reduced. And so in order to bring it up to the levels they needed, they had to add more. They added too much.
Understandable, but too much is not always a good thing.
You gotta work those things out. So we'll talk a little bit more about that and what City Manager Alex Little had to say about it. Also in the news coming up at 8:00, the city of South Haven is moving forward on a proposal for redevelopment of the Overton property at 229 Elkenberg Street. At their regular meeting, they approved starting negotiations with the group Dwelling Place for a redevelopment of that brownfield site into an 85-unit residential complex. I mean, that's big for South Haven. 85 units, 53 apartments, 30 duplexes, 2 single-family homes. Housing is definitely a need in that area, so we'll talk a little bit more about that at 8:00. And then also we'll give you an update on the St. Joseph Youth Sports Foundation, their fundraising efforts, where it stands. They had hoped to break ground last year on some of their project, but it looks like it'll probably be this spring that they'll be able to do that. So we'll talk about those stories and more in just a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show. We're continuing our interview with Bernice Mason. It's on the video live stream. Right now we've got sports after a look at state news from the Michigan News Network.
The Michigan.
All right, and continuing on the video live stream, one of the things that I asked, I wanted to ask you about, Bernice, is volunteerism and community support, and what does that look like to you? Have you thought about that? What does that look like to you? What is getting involved in your community? What does volunteering look like to you?
That's something that's very important because you're part of the community. Yeah. You are the community. So I just feel like helping out, being part of that. Yeah. And that's something that came from my family background, from the Woods family. So that's where it all started.
Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, my parents, especially my dad and uncles, they started off with the farmers, farmers market and things like that. So that's where it all began, working with Dad, working with the farmers market and doing good things in the community with our church. and helping people where the help was needed. So that's pretty much where it all started. And I saw my dad do that many times over, and my uncles as well. So I too wanted to follow along with that. Have some cousins I must mention also in that as well.
Yeah.
So we just feel like this is what God wants us to do, and this is what we should do. Work together, help one another, and do the best you can.
Yeah.
This is what makes the world go round. This also helps make a better community, working together, being involved.
Do you see enough of that right now in the world around us?
I see it, but not quite enough.
Yeah.
Yes. So hopefully it will continue to build and build. But we as a people have to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you see as the primary challenges between where we are and where you think we can be?
Well, we can be further ahead. We just have to put the word out there to get people more involved, discuss things with people, but you just don't want to tell them. We can start the discussions as far as having meetings, with people, inviting them out to talk about things, what they want to do, what they're interested in. You really want to know sometimes what people want to do, because I think having a meeting meetings rather, if you find out what people love to do and want to do and be part of, that would help.
Yeah.
Yes, you know where they're coming from.
Okay. What do you think, from what you're hearing out there and what you're seeing, what do you think we need more of in our communities here?
As far as more volunteer workers, more people to do more for each other. Yes, we do need that, more of us.
Yeah.
We're always going to need something.
Yeah.
This is just the way the world is. But more people getting together, working together. Yes.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Are there primary areas that you'd want to see more focus on?
I would say community services, more volunteer workers with the events in the community, want more input with the people to come out. And I would say, as an example, I work with the farmers market as the honorary ambassador and advocate. I've done that for years.
Yeah.
And that farmers market comes with being with my family, the Woods family, working with the farming and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see more people just come out into the community. We have things going on, and we're trying to build more things. So we just got to get them out there. And there's always ways in doing that.
Yeah. I apologize for not knowing the Woods family. When did you start farming? When did they start farming?
My parents, well, I'll speak of my dad.
Okay.
My dad and his uncle started the farming many years ago. Unfortunately, they're deceased at this time.
Sorry.
So I just try to keep a little bit of that going by doing the farmers market and the community service.
Yeah.
That's where it all started with the family.
What did they grow?
Well, greens, tomatoes, peppers, beans.
Yeah.
Yes. Combination.
I love a good farmer's market.
Yes.
And so they brought the goods directly from the farms to the market.
Yes, they did. And as a kid, I do remember the farmers market downtown Benton Harbor in that location, and also downtown Benton Harbor toward the township area on Territorial.
Okay.
So my dad would take me sometime as a kid. So yes. And then they start just selling in the community themselves with their own vehicles, going neighborhoods to neighborhoods, city to cities.
Yeah. I love that.
Yes.
And especially nowadays when people seem to be more health conscious. We started this conversation this morning talking about people drinking sugary drinks, and we know too much of a good thing can be.
Yes.
But the farmers market, it gives people the opportunity to see where their food comes from, so that they know, hey, Fruit Loops have to get artificial colors and dyes and everything else. If you just want regular fruit, it's right there and it's beautiful.
Yes, it is. It's right there. Right there for the axing.
Fruits and vegetables. What do you do when you're not a community volunteer? What do you like to do for recreation or fun or relaxation?
Well, yes, I like to relax sometimes at home.
Yeah.
With my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll watch a little television, listen to music.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
What kind of music you listen to?
Pretty much listen to the church music. I listen to R&B, soul pop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
And WSJM, and you listen to WSJM.
I listen to the radio stations, all that. Of course. So I want to put that in a category, but it's all under that same umbrella.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
absolutely.
Indeed. And I love my TV stations of news also.
Yeah.
My family would tell you I'm a very news person.
Oh, good.
I like to stay on top of things, see what's going on, not just locally, but what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot going on right now.
Sure is.
Hopefully we can get through everything.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be good. All right, it's 7:44. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We're talking with Bernice Mason. She was recognized as Volunteer of the Year in Michigan last year. Did you talk with other community folks who were recognized from communities across Michigan when you went to the awards dinner in November?
Yes, at the Detroit Opera Center.
Yeah.
Yes, I had the pleasure and honor to meet people quite often. I met a lady, one of the ladies I met among many was Melissa Sherry. She did come here occasionally to work with us with the water distribution.
Oh, right.
Which I did work with the water distribution with Southwest Michigan Community Action Agency. So I worked there also, as well as the Benton Harbor High School also. So she recognized that she loved Benton Harbor. She came here to interact. So that was good to know that when I got there, besides knowing the government, I met her as well. But I had fun. It was beautiful. The event was great. It was set up like a red carpet event.
Yeah.
So
as well it should be. I think it's great. All right. So we'll talk a little bit more in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show. 7:45 is the time. We'll be right back with Bernice Mason on the Morning Show in just a moment.
Tonight will stay in the low 20s. Lake effect snow showers will get going mainly after midnight. And lake effect snow continues tomorrow. A couple of inches of accumulation expected. High temperatures only around 25 degrees. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Thank you so much for joining us on the WSJM Morning Show. It's 7:46, just 14 minutes before 8 o'clock. Very pleased to have in the studio with us this morning Bernice Mason. She's a member of our communities. She was is a native of Benton Harbor. She's living currently in St. Joseph, and Governor Gretchen Whitmer recognized her and 37 other people for their community commitment and volunteerism, and just making change happen in our Michigan communities. That happened in November. You went to the Detroit Opera House for this recognition.
That is correct.
And how was the food? Did they feed you?
Yes, of course.
They gave you a dinner?
The food was delicious. Of course. Yes.
Do you remember what it was?
Yes. Something that
I just want to know what the governor is going to spend on a dinner for you, because I think that for volunteers and commitment, community folks, it should be good.
Yes.
So what was it?
It was something like chicken, filet mignon.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Filet mignon.
yes.
Yeah.
We had some salmon.
Okay.
So we had a little bit of everything
All right.
that you would call fine dining.
At the Detroit Opera House.
Yes.
That's
yes,
amazing.
indeed.
That was really pretty. We've been talking about your volunteer, your background, your family's background here, volunteerism, your philosophy, your thoughts on what the community might need, some of the things that you do in your spare time. As you think back on your years of community commitment and volunteerism, any stories you want to share on interesting situations or thoughts? Or I know we talked about funny stuff. You don't want to share any funny stuff.
I really don't have any funny
Do you have
stuff.
favorite things you like to do in the community?
I'm really not going to say favorites, Ken, because when
I love that.
Yes, because I just love all the places that I have worked and been a part of. So there's no favorites. They're all good. They're all great serving our community.
We're kindred spirits, because when my boys ask me, okay, I have 3 boys, and they ask me, all right, who's your favorite? I say, I have no favorites. Or what's your favorite? I have no favorites, because that would preclude enjoying the individual things of intricacies of other things.
Precisely.
Right?
Yes. My daughters have asked me that also. I don't have any favorites.
You're just playing favorites, Mom. No, I'm not.
No.
Absolutely
Just
not.
want to do what's right. Stay positive.
Oh, no, that's good. You said you're an avid listener, consumer of news. Anything in the news right now that you want to hear more about on a local level? When we think about the local things, we're doing our planning right now for 2025, and so we're going to cover the municipalities. We're going to take a look at the issues the different government agencies and the nonprofits are dealing with. We're looking at different business developments. But as a community member, somebody who's very involved in the community, what are the things that you think we should be talking more about in our communities, if there is something that you're thinking of?
Well, you've covered pretty much everything else, but hopefully we'll have more programs regarding the children.
Yes.
Yes.
In which ways? Which aspects?
Well, we need more community events, such as when the children are out of school.
Yeah.
We need to have community programs for the kids.
You're talking about like Boys and Girls Club and that
that's
kind of.
one of them.
Okay.
But we need to have other jobs,
Yes.
training. We have that, but we need to have them more involved because we have a lot of students in the St. Joseph and Benton Harbor area, as well as Benton Township, of course. But we need to find a way to get them more involved in being part of the community because you do have some, but it's not enough. When you think of how many students attending this school and that school, let's have more things going on so they will take interest. We need more in Benton Harbor, especially.
Yeah.
We really do. More programs, more events.
Have you seen things that you say to yourself, that's working? If only we had more of it, it would be better.
Yes, of course. I can say starting off with the farmers market, that's a great thing.
Yep.
Because people do come out. We'll have up to 600 people that will attend the event. I'm just taking it, to figures all the way up.
Yep.
Because that's one of the things that I take care of there. And I also do a lot of advocating myself, word of mouth, flyers, and so forth. Phone calls, I do it all. You name it. But as far as we have other programs like school programs. I want to get into that.
Yep.
We need more adults to be a part of that. I can say the school is doing a great job. But again, during the summer, when school is out, have something going on for the kids.
Yeah.
We need more programs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When they have their spring vacation, that 1 week would be something that they can do,
Something to keep them busy, challenge their minds.
Stay busy.
Yeah.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And it can happen.
You were recognized as we've mentioned this morning by the governor, but that for your volunteerism, your lifetime commitment, more than 50 years that you've put into community contributions. What you've received other recognitions as well. If you wouldn't mind, could you share with us?
Yes. First, I would say I've been recognized many times over at Lake Michigan College.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Yeah.
So that's going to take some time to get into that. But I'll just say I've been recognized with a congressional award from the former Congressman
Fred Upton, no
yes,
kidding?
Fred Upton.
Gave you.
And I've also received a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Humanitarian Award.
Nice.
Thank you. And I've also received in the past, excuse me, Twin Cities Hall of Fame Award from the late Sharon Weeks Wilder, John Prose, and other people that were on that committee at that time, Race Relations Award, and there's been many others.
Wow.
But those are the big ones that stands out.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, you've been holding back. So what the congressional award that you received from former Representative Upton, was that for a specific act?
It pretty much covers what I've done in the community.
The entire community?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Those others as well?
Yes.
Okay. What's next for you?
To continue on doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Taking care of myself, my family, continue with the community, doing God's work, community service, taking care of the people, being part of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I love that. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. We're talking with Bernice Mason. She was named one of the Volunteers of the Year by Governor Gretchen Whitmer last year, and she received her recognition in November at the Detroit Opera House. We'll talk a little bit more with her, and maybe she has some advice for people who want to get involved in the community but don't know how. We'll talk about that in just a moment right here on WSJM.
Hey, you got any gum? Yeah, check my backpack. What's this?
All right. So let's see. Is this what you expected it would be, this interview?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been on the radio before.
Okay.
Yes.
Who were you on with, Pat?
No, I wasn't on with
I got you, Pat. No.
I would love it.
We have him in studio every so often. What other radio things were you on? I'm curious.
With the radio station in Benton Harbor with Ricky Hill.
Okay.
Yes, I did that with him.
Very nice.
So, and as he mentioned to me this past Friday, I will make an appointment to do it again coming up soon.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay. And let me see. Sorry, I'm just doing, this is the behind the scenes stuff that sometimes you don't see when I'm moving the commercials to make sure they hit right.
Yes.
Let's see. We'll do that one. We'll do that one. Okay. Very good. We'll make our next piece part of the Moody on the Market update, if you don't mind. And we'll do that right there. I know you've met Pat Moody, right?
Of course.
Okay, good.
He was on the board at Lake Michigan College.
Yep.
And
Was he at Cornerstone when you were at
Yes,
Cornerstone?
he was my boss. Him and Regina.
Okay.
Shervino.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very nice. All right.
Yes, of course.
What are you going to do after you leave here today?
I'm going to go home and do some reading.
Okay.
I did say earlier I do lots of reading.
Yeah. What do you
and
read?
Studying. Well, I'm just going to be reading about what's next to do for the children. I have some plans and some ideas.
Yeah.
You know, so I have something that I want to try to put together regarding the kids this summer. For a summer program.
Oh, very nice. Will you work through one of the government organizations like the Benton Harbor City Council, or how do you go about enacting that?
I'm thinking in terms of doing something, working with Governor Gretchen Whitmer. It's something that I do have in mind that I had discussed with one of the
Something
employees
bigger.
from our
Okay.
office. But I also want to do something here as well. But it's something that I want to do with the children regarding the Benton Harbor Farmers Market. You know, we can always use more programs, more events, and so forth. More things for the kids.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll look for specifics on that, and I think it's great that you're doing that undertaking. How many? I know I asked you before how many hours, but how much of your time would you say, if you had to guess during the year, how much of your time would you say you spend in the volunteer or community contribution area?
Here's my answer to that, Ken.
All right.
I'm not even going to guess because I may guess wrong.
You're a tough nut to crack.
Yes, I am. But I'm just going to say so much of my time.
Yeah.
God has blessed me to give
back
to others.
Yeah.
So I can't put a number on it.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. He's given you the will and the energy to do it.
Yes. And the pleasure and honor.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. We've got to get to the Moody on the Market update, so we'll do that in just a moment. But what's the third box you've got there?
I have not opened it yet.
Oh, okay. You just brought it.
Should I open it on your show?
I think so. Hang on just a moment. Wait. We'll get back into the radio show, and then you can open that. Okay.
Okay.
And where did this come from?
This is part of my recognition.
Okay, part of the recognition,
Yes,
and you
all three.
waited to open it till now.
Until now.
I love this. You are a mystery. All right. Do you need anything to help open that? Because I don't have any scissors here. So hopefully you can just.
Should I just do it now to see if I do?
Yeah, you can start to do it, but just don't reveal what's on it
no.
to the. Okay, there you go. You can start opening it now.
Yes.
All right. We're going to get back to the show here in just a moment. I love this interview. Bernice has been great. We'll be right back in just a moment.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
All right, it's 7:57. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on the video live stream. If you've not been watching the video live stream, or if you want to catch up on it, you can go back and take a look at the archive on our social media streams, Facebook and YouTube. Right now, it's time for the Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And part of the Moody on the Market update today is an interesting person you should know, Bernice Mason. And she was recognized by the governor in 2024 for being a volunteer of the year. And she received a proclamation, it looks like a Crystal Governor's Service Award by, what is it?
5 Great Lakes.
Oh, the 5 Great Lakes
Award.
A 5 Great Lakes Award. Thank you. And then now she is ripping into a box that she received as part of her recognition. Do you want me to help open that? You got it? Here, let me see it. Okay, let's open this. So this is something that you, here it is. Yeah, just like
That's
this.
my third one.
There you go.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you.
You got it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Yes.
So as part of her recognition, she received the proclamation, the 5 Great Lakes Award, and she's showing us now a box of goodies. Look at that.
Yes.
Why did you wait to open this till now?
Because I didn't want to open it until I was on your station.
Oh, you were so great.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
This is my third gift.
Yeah, what's in there? You've got some tea.
Yeah, Fraser tea.
I'm going to guess these
Fraser
are
tea,
all
popcorn,
Michigan
candy.
things.
It's all Michigan things, all Michigan decorated.
You
Yes.
you earned that for your volunteerism. You didn't ask for it, but you received it, and it's well deserved.
Yes, my third gift.
I love that. Bernice, any parting words, any advice you would give to people before we go?
My advice to everyone is to take part in being a volunteer in your community or communities. Talk to one another, see if we can make plans together, do things together. What's out there, the business events that we do have going on, school events, get involved. We can all do this. I will continue to do so. As long as God blesses me to do that, I will. And I am more than happy to work with you. We have volunteer agency services out here. If you want to go to places to be a part of that, sure, you can do that. We have the United Way, contact United Way. That's a very good place to start. We also have the Salvation Army, but there's others, but those are the two big ones. I must add a third one, Berrien Community Foundation.
Berrien Community Foundation. We'll have to leave it right there. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. JetBlue is working with investigators in Florida to figure out after 2 men were found.
Sorry about that. We ran up against a hard time thing. We're still on the video live stream there. So you said United Way, Salvation Army, and Berrien Community Foundation.
Yes.
So those are the 3 big organizations in need.
That serves our community.
All right. Anything else before we wrap it up today?
I would like to say thank you so much again for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Our pleasure.
Yes. And thank you, people out there, for listening. Thank you for your time, service also. And thank you so much for caring.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bernice Mason, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you for watching the video live stream.